Hi Sanjay.
Hi,
So how are you? How's the day going?
I'm doing good. The day is a bit hectic, but it's fine.
Okay, that's great. So firstly, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So Sanjay, beyond being an entrepreneur and the founder of Pinterest, who actually Sanvi is?
Okay, so this is a very interesting question. Sanvi
Hmm.
is just an average TU girl who is trying to figure out things before she hits her 30s.
Hmm.
So I'm just as confused as chalant as any other person over here. So yeah, that's the real me. That's me. I am just trying to find out things. I'm just figuring out. I'm experimenting with a lot. That's who I am.
Hmm. Very nice, Sanvi. So, at a young age, I just came across that you have built a lot of things and achieved a lot of things, and especially the prestigious things like uh, gaining the fellowship of with the Mercedes Benz.
Yeah.
So, would you like to tell me about that?
Yeah, so just updating on that, I actually had to leave it because of few reasons. So I got selected like last year, and it's like a whole fellowship of 3 years where you build your ideas very well. So any sustainable idea that you can think is creative can help the world and can make it a better place to live.
अरे,
So
बंद रहने दो.
So
Sorry,
that's
sorry.
it's okay, it's totally fine. So if you want, you can actually cross this question out. It's fine. It's completely okay with me. So continuing with that it's just something that I left a few days back because I was not able to handle a lot. So yeah, it's more about if you have a very creative, sustainable idea that you think can make the world a better place, then you are definitely welcome to apply for that.
This is really great, Sanvi. Actually, really great. So it is really a very prestigious thing, and exploring new ideas and new perspectives and bring out a solution out of that and working through them is actually a very interesting thing
Thank
in
you.
itself. Yeah. So, Sanvi, what was the biggest moment for you where you feel like your life has really shifted in your professional world?
hmm I think it was a transition from my first year to my second year. A lot has changed. Like, I realized which field I want to go in. I realized
Hmm.
that corporate, private jobs are really not my thing. And if you ask Sanvi a year back, when I was in first year, when I was like starting with my college, she was so sure that she wanted to go in corporate. She was so sure that she wanted to take up a high risk job. She wanted to, like be involved in a private job. She was very sure that she wants to be like CEO of some big company, get a high paying job. And so the whole idea was around IAMs, CAT, corporate world, 9 to 5, totally. And if you ask me what I want right now, it's completely different. It's completely different from what I wanted a year back. And it's kind of crazy how that 365 days actually change you. So, yeah, it has changed me a lot. Internships specifically have changed me a lot.
That's very nice. As you mentioned internship, so how does that plays a role in building your business to that extent? How actually, what was the foundation of Winters actually?
Okay, so Binturns is okay, consider it as your internship guru. We help students to get internships, but like in the way that we will provide you with the information about internships and fellowships, you can apply for them and get selected. Now the thing is, we have also started, I just started it today itself, that we have another service which is a mentorship service. So basically, you want to intern at XYZ company, let's say it's your dream company. So Binterns will help you get connected to someone who has already interned there. So you can basically get a cheat sheet of, like, what questions are asked, what is the process, what are they looking for in candidates. Sometimes I did this service for free for just one day, and the mentors were so nice that they actually gave out referrals to the students. So it's a very big possibility that you might also get a referral. Besides that, we help companies hire interns, and yeah.
This is a very great thing actually. You are not only helping the students but also helping the companies to bring up with the most capable clients also. This is a very good thing, Sanvi.
Thank you.
So, Sanvi, as I have explored, every CEO has a spark for a spark moment to start something new, right? So, what that spark for you to start Bentress?
Okay, so it wasn't very a sparkly moment. It was a very dull moment for me. So I started interning. So it was my internship right before college, and I got this internship. It was a paid internship, and I was working with a creator who had 10K subscribers on YouTube. I was doing his social media management. Now, the thing with that is that first internship was supposed to teach me a lot, but it ended up teaching me nothing. I got traumatized by it because there were a lot of red flags, like as a female also, as a female in the internship industry. I feel like it's very difficult for us to get an internship, stay over there, get the hard-earned money, or get the certificate, or get the LOR, because every time whenever I like recall that incident, the only thing that first comes to my mind is the way that he used to call me at 10:30 in night. So, like, he's calling me 10:30 at night, and I'm like, that's really not professional. Plus, I was a girl. I don't think he would have done the same if it was a boy. So, yeah. And then there were a lot of things, like I was supposed to do social media management, but he ended up shifting me to sales as well. And he was like, reach out to these people and call them up. And at 10 days, it was my breaking point. It was like, I was like, no, I am not going to do this. And I told him that I am not going to do this. Please, just let me go. And if you can, give me the certificate, even though he didn't, because that is fair. I did not complete the internship, so I do not deserve that. So, anyways, it was a very dull moment for me. I got highly traumatized by that. So, that's when I decided that I will only work for companies or brands or organizations that have a name in the industry. Now, that's when I realized that if I am doing it for myself, I shall also do it for everyone else. So, yeah, that's how interns started, and I started posting with all the internships that were, recognized and that were given out by like branded organizations, people who knew that, okay, this is a company. So, yeah, that's how I started.
This is actually a very great thing. You not only just figure out the problems by yourself, but also helping the interns nowadays to solve those problems and making sure that they won't face the problems that you faced in your internships. This is actually a very good thing, Sanvi.
Thank you.
So, Salvi, as you mentioned earlier, you are a student also, right? So, according to that, isn't it hard for you to just balance out your academics as well as your business also?
Yeah, it's super hard. I have thought about like leaving the college so many times, but it's like, see, I come from a service, my parents are in service background. So I don't really have a backup as per se. So I do not have a lot of money as a cushion to fall fall on. So the only thing that is keeping me together is my degree. In case if this does not go in the same direction, in case I don't want to do it like in future, in case I just this doesn't work out, I hope it does. But in case it doesn't, so what's my cushion to fall on? I do not have a lot of money, so it's like the degree is the only way. For me, it has always been like that degree is a fall on, something to like be a fall on. So it's acting like a cushion for me right now.
This is very great. You must be having a cushion for you so that if plan A won't work out for you, so you must go through something else. This
Yes,
is really
correct.
good. Yeah. So, Sanvi, can you tell me about your studies, like what you are doing right now and how is it going?
Okay, so I am in second year of my college, Delhi University, Gargi College. You must have heard about it.
Yeah.
So I am studying. My major is economics, and my minor is entrepreneurship and small business. Yeah.
This is very nice. So, you are running a whole organization, a kind of whole startup. So, can you tell me about three common mistakes that students usually do when it comes to applying for the internships?
Okay. So there are actually a lot. So I'll start with the most common ones, right? So the first is they do not know the format of their CV. They would be sending anything. Like I have seen anything and everything till now because I help companies hire interns. Sometimes they ask me to shortlist people for them as well. So it's like sometimes I look at it and I'm like, why did they even send it? Because sometimes they do is write all the things they did on a Word doc. Now that is fine, but at least you should format that. And when you are specifically applying to bigger companies, they do this ATS run. So if the ATS score is low, you are automatically out, even though you must be doing like a lot of things, that your CV must be really heavy. But it's just like if it's not in the proper format, it will not affect the HR who is looking at, like they will look at your CV and not even read it and put it in trash. That's how easy it is for them to reject a candidate because they have thousands of people. They have thousands of candidates coming in. Secondly, people do not realize that each role deserves a separate CV for itself. So I have a 3-page CV. And trust me, it was the biggest problem. 3-page CV is heavy, but recruiters don't want to read it because it's 3 pages long. They just want to skim it. So ideally, a CV should be 1 page. But if it's not, then 1.5 max to max 2, but not 3. So what I did instead was I removed everything. So let's say if I'm applying for a research internship, so I made sure that all the things, all the work experience that I had in my research internships, only they are in my CV. And I made sure that it's not exceeding 1 page, max to max 1.5 page. It's like very difficult because I remember going to every company and they used to be like, oh, very nice CV, but we are not selecting you. Why? Because they are not even reading your CV. It's 3 pages. Who is going to read it? And I used to feel very proud. Oh, I have a 3-page CV and I am just in my second year. No, no, no. Everyone has, I think everyone must have that kind of CV if they are working a lot with those startups, with the organizations. But it's like very, like you cannot expect anyone to read 3 pages of your work. It's fine, it's good, you are doing well with your time, but every role deserves a CV of its own. So you need to like tailor it very well. And thirdly is like interviews. So okay, this is one of the basic things I have seen people do. They will ask it to get rescheduled and then forget about it. They have forgotten. So it's like it gives a very bad impression on the HR that, oh, this person is not on time. Okay, if they got it rescheduled, that's fine. But if you are not coming on the rescheduled time as well, and you are giving them a last minute excuse that you could not come because of this reason, it gives a very bad impression and they might not even reschedule your meeting. Now, this has happened with me. I tried rescheduling it even once. And trust me, the HRs do not have that much time. They want to get over with the hiring. They want to see the interns who are there. And sometimes they do not even reply. And one of the things that I have also seen is people are not very professional in interviews. So you cannot just, switch your language from being very professional to very chill like they are your friends. That is highly unprofessional. That is not recommended at any point of time. And they can see through you. So they can actually see that, oh, this person is not very professional about their role or their work experience or whatever they are thinking. So it's very complex. You can't really, just be like, oh, they are my friends, they are going to select me anyway. So that's not how it's going to work. I have seen that happen a lot of times. And trust me, these three things, I feel like if anyone does work on these three things, they are actually going to get ahead a lot faster than they expected.
This is actually really great, Sanvi. So, as you said, people usually write 3 pages long CVs. So, can you tell me what could be the ideal structure for the CV so that a candidate must follow? So, it would create a good impression on the interviewers.
Okay, so I'll give you a brief of what my CV looks like. So the header is about my name. It has my LinkedIn link, my phone number, and the place that I'm residing, that is New Delhi. And then we have academic achievements. So it's basically, first of all, it's what you are doing in the college, how much marks you got in 12th, and then how much marks you got in 10th. It depends on everyone else because some of them might be doing PG, so they will shift their CVs accordingly. And then comes academic achievement. So for me, I will write what was my rank in the course that I decided to take up, and any other things like I was the school topper in English in class 12, so I wrote that. You can write about any other exams that you took and then what was your rank in it. So like I have seen people do it for IITs, who are in IITs, they write their JEE main rank and all. So you can do that. And then comes my internship/work experience. So this has a list of all the internships, all the companies that I worked on. And as I said, every CV is for a different role is different. So if I am sending my CV for a research internship, it will have only the research internships or the work experiences that I had. It is not going to have content writing, it is not going to have HR. So it's very tailored. And then comes your position of responsibility. So if you are in college, you must be in any society. If you are not, that's completely okay. You can skip this part. So I am in a lot of societies, so I have written what my position is and since when I am doing that. So dates always matter, right? So you can write month of the year, so like July 25 to August 25, you can write something like that. No need to write dates. Month and year are good to go. And once you are done with that, then comes the achievements. So now it can be anything like publication. I have one publication, so I have written about that. Skills, what skills do you have? So it is like beginner, intermediate, and very skilled. So you can write about that. And also, before you write this, there is special achievement section. So this is all about the competitions that you did. Now, I have written all the national ones. So I have been national finalist or a national winner, anything that sort of. So you can write everything like that. So it's like, okay, I will just run you through again. So the header has my name, location. You can also add your age if that is working with you. LinkedIn, your phone number. Then comes what your marks were in You can also do it for semester wise. I don't do it. So I have just written that, I'm doing this in this course from this in this college. And then class 12th marks, class 10th marks, then academic achievements, then internship slash work experiences, then your position of responsibility, that is colleges, college societies, and then we have achievements like nationalist in XYZ competition. Then we have skills, and if you have any publications, you can add in that. That's all.
That is very great, Sanvi. So we actually, whenever we are going to apply for something, so the content in the resume should be like that only, which aligns with the post, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sanvi, being a young founder, when you started Pinterest, so it might be a bit difficult for you to build trust amongst the audience and the customers from scratch, right? So,
Yeah.
can you tell me that how did you handle that and how did you build that?
Okay, so I started, like I told you, I used to post about internships that are, open right now. So the thing was that the growth was very slow on that. So LinkedIn used to give me like 2, 3 followers per post. So it took me a lot of trying, lot of time, lot of efforts to reach my first 100 people. And once I did, I realized that, okay, let's do this mentorship service that I told you about for free just for one day. So what I did, I gathered up 7 mentors and totally gave them a short message on LinkedIn and told them ki, I am doing something like this. If you are up for it, and you can do it for free because I did not have money to give you. So if you can do it for free, it would be great. And trust me, if I show you, I have a whole Excel sheet of all the mentors that I reached out to. There were more than 50 people I reached out to, and only 7 of them said yes. But even though 7 was really great, each and every mentor had a very positive feedback. So those 7 mentors said yes. And the thing with that is that people are not going to trust your company page, they trust you. So I had a decent number of connections till then. Like I think I had 1,000 connections or 1,000 followers, something like that. So I posted it on my personal as well. That is where things change because no one is going to trust your company; they are going to trust you. So if you have a good personal brand, if you have a bit decent amount of followers or connections, you will see people will trust you. So that's what I did. I posted it on my private, I posted it on my company page. So like within 2 days, there were like 50 people on board and we had to close it because there were only 7 mentors. There is a limit to what they can also put their time onto it. So that was the thing. So it was really difficult, and I would say that was the breaking point. That mentorship service that I gave for free was the breaking point. I feel like, see, the thing is that you cannot expect any customer to believe you if they have not tested your product or a service. So what I did it for free for one day, just one day, but I did it for free. And you will see there were so many amazing feedbacks on that. And that's when I realized that, oh, I can now start with the process of making it paid. So what I did was make it free. That's how I gained the trust.
This is very great, Sanvi. Even though it was a hard journey for you, but the way you manage it very beautifully, it is really a matter of appreciation.
Thank you.
So, Sanvi, when it comes to the building, so what do you think that, like, when it comes to the building thing, so are you thinking about structure, brand, and the legal side, or are you still exploring these things and still figuring out?
Okay, so I have currently registered Bintones as an MSME, so it's a micro enterprise. I got it registered a few days back itself. So, otherwise, if you have to talk about solely about the ownership, then it's sole proprietorship. I am the only one working on the team, no interns, no team I have. So that is like the legal part about it. Sole proprietorship doesn't really have a very big list of do's and don'ts. It's just that if it's sole proprietorship, it's not even compulsory that you have to get it registered as a sole proprietorship. So, but for my own thinking that I thought that it's better to get it registered. So I got it registered as an MSME. Besides that, I am also currently experimenting a lot with Instagram. So Instagram is something that I feel like can get a lot of traction. I'm also trying to build my own personal brand through Bintones only. So it's like giving out information about internships and all. So yeah, it's a bit difficult. Building brand is really difficult. Legal part is still easy because you can like check out stuff that okay, this is how this is working. Someone has told me to do this. I can actually check YouTube. But when it comes to personal brand, every person is different. Every company is different. Every niche is different. What is working for them might not work for you. So yeah, that is the difficult part.
This is actually very great, I should really say that for the generation nowadays, especially for Gen Z, they people should take inspiration from you.
I am taking inspiration from them.
It is really nice. So, sadly, as for the last question, can you please tell me that where do you see Pinterest in future, and what is your big vision for which you are working towards right now?
See, the vision was always to help students. So that is going to stay as the vision, and for the next 5 years, I really want to scale it. I really want to build its own website. I really want to build its own app because we are not on app or any website. So, and like the proper, not just a landing page. I want to build like a proper website for it where there are mentors and you can get connected with them. So right now everything is being done manually. I don't want that. I want it to scale a lot. Because Bintones has I know the potential. Bintones gave me my first 5 figures in less than 20 days. So it was like a huge deal. I could see the potential in it, but I am not able to utilize that potential. I am not able to maximize it. So my grievance has always been that I'm not able to maximize the potential. I want to actually build it very big. I want to build an ecosystem for interns, for students, so that they don't have to, it's like one of the mentors that I was telling you about. She told me that, Sanvi, you are building a solution for yourself. And I feel like if I am building the solution for myself, I am very sure that there are so many students who are very confused how to get internships. They are very confused what they should do. I feel like this is something that is such a big problem. We have a lot of people because see, long is the time gone when degrees used to, consider like give you a permanent job. That time is gone. Every company right now requires you to have some kind of experience. So I feel like why are we making it difficult for every other student that they don't know where to go, they don't know how to get an internship, they don't know the roadmap, they don't know anything, and they are just in first year. So what if they get to know about it? Like I was talking to this one student, she's in fourth year, and she said, Sanvi, it's so late that I don't know. I did not try it earlier because I was scared. I did not know, there was no one to teach me. But I am in fourth year and I have done just one internship. And while it sounds very scary, she's still not very late. She can try out in her fourth year itself. She can try everything out. And the thing is that what if this advice to her was given back in first year when she first stepped into the college? What if it was done way before then, so that she wouldn't have to be confused? What if she didn't have to, ask random strangers that what are they doing? What if she never had to feel that kind of fear in herself? So I feel like this is the type of ecosystem I want to build, where students come and they feel like, okay, Binturns has got my back. I know if no one can teach me, no one can guide me, Binturns can. That's what I want to see Binturns grow into. I wanted to grow it into a very safe community for students where they are able to ask about questions, where they are curious, where they don't have to feel very scared, where they don't have to be as confused as I was when I started with my internship, because there are so many advices, so many things that I wish someone had answered for me before. And that's how I want to build Binturns. That's how I see Binturns doing in the next 5 years.
This is actually very great. You are not just solving a real time problem, but also keeping it towards the future so that the upcoming generation would take the benefit out of it. This is actually very good, and not just even the upcoming generation, but the people who have thought that now their career is over, they are not able to do anything in future right now, or feeling hopeless. You are giving them a hope also.
Yes, true.
Yeah, this is actually a very great thing, Sanvi.
Thank you.
So, Sanvi, actually, I'm very glad to have a talk to you. It was really great to have conversation with you, and I actually got to know a lot of things from you, honestly.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sanvi, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Have a nice day, guys. Bye bye.
Have a nice day. Bye bye.